Published 0409 EDT, the 5th of September 2017. Updated 0506 EDT, the 5th of September 2017. A leathered passenger who attacked a man on a Ryanair flight carried on her violent rampage in Alicante airport by brawling on the floor of baggage reclaim with another woman. The woman, who had traveled to the Spanish airport from Newcastle, had already caused mid-air mayhem on the flight when she decided to launch a second attack on a passerby. The two women were then seen yanking each other's hair and rolling around the floor as they grappled with one another in front of shocked passengers waiting for their luggage. Shocking footage of the fight shows a woman in a green dress straddling the drunk woman, who is wearing a yellow t-shirt, a drunk passenger who sparked chaos on a Ryanair flight when she hit a man carried on her violent rampage by brawling on the airport floor with another woman. Drunk woman is then heard screaming with her legs flailing in the air as the other woman pins her down on the floor. The brawl got so out of control that the two women eventually had to be prized apart by a bystander. The fight came just hours after the woman in the yellow t-shirt had launched an attack while on the Ryanair flight. Footage of that incident, which emerged earlier this week, shows the woman shouting and screaming before throwing punches at a fellow passenger. Witnesses say the woman was due to be met by police in Spain following the mid-air attack, but was apparently allowed to wander solo through the airport where she launched the second attack, according to Rachel Burns, 35, who had been on the same flight as the two women. The woman wearing a yellow top was intoxicated. Do you know this woman? Phone 02036151786 or email steph.cockcroft@mileonline.co.uk. The mother of three, from Newcastle upon Tyne and Weir, said it was unbelievable. At the airport the police had already seen her and let her go. When we got into the baggage collection area, that's when the violence started. I was with my family. We'd got our bags and had been walking away, and then they got stuck into it. I saw her just go up to a lady who had been one of the people telling her to sit down. Then they were going it out on the floor. The two women were seen pulling each other's hair while rolling around the floor and screaming at one another at baggage reclaim at Alicante Airport, Spain, according to witness Rachel Burns, 35, who had been on the same flight as the two women. The woman wearing a yellow top was intoxicated. It went on for a couple of minutes. She just seemed intoxicated. She was very, very drunk. Some man tried to pull her off, then she started again. Ms. Burns added that the security was shocking. It was an absolute shambles, she said. She just left. She was with two friends. They seemed mortified and were crying. Then we left. We just needed to get the children away from it. She added it's shocking that she'd even been able to get on the plane in the first place, let alone get to that point in the airport. Ms. Burns claims the woman was drunk while they were on the plane and had been aggressive towards her fellow passengers for around an hour and a half. She claims the woman even directed her slurs at her mother, who was traveling with her, calling her an old hag. Ms. Burns, who was taking her flight one way to move out to Spain with her family, said on the flight she was lathered. In a video of the brawl on board the flight, men and women aboard the Newcastle to Alicante Ryanair flight can be seen scrapping over the tops of seats. Arms can be seen flailing in both directions as fellow passengers attempt to stop the unseemingly fracas. Staff and other people on the plane kept telling her to sit down. The plane staff said they hadn't served her alcohol. She was sat 2 rows behind me, and she started getting really aggressive with people in front of her, fing and blinding, and saying, "What you looking at?" Then she started fighting with the man in front, and started getting aggressive with the lady asking her to move. The plane staff couldn't control her. The people she was attacking got moved to the front of the plane. She called my mum an old hag, so that's when I started shouting at her as well, saying don't call my mum that. Ryanair said the fight justifies the airline's call for changes to the sale of alcohol at airports. The firm's head of communications, Robin Keeley, said it was important to introduce a 2-drink limit for each passenger and also a ban on alcohol sales before 10 am. It was all going on for about an hour and a half. Ms. Burns said she is appalled that this sort of behavior can be allowed to take place in an airport. It's just something you don't expect to see there. And especially in mid-air on the plane too. It could have been much worse, and you don't want the children to see it, she said. I just don't think drinking should be allowed on planes. A spokesman for Ryanair said the crew of this flight from Newcastle to Alicante the 31st of August requested police assistance upon arrival after a passenger became disruptive in flight. The aircraft landed normally and the passenger was met by police. We will not tolerate unruly or disruptive behavior at any time, and the safety and comfort of our customers, crew and aircraft is our #1 priority. This passenger has been banned from flying with Ryanair, and this is now a matter for local police. This is exactly why we are calling for significant changes to prohibit the sale of alcohol at airports, such as a 2-drink limit per passenger and no alcohol sales before 10 am. It's incumbent on the airports to introduce these preventative measures to curb excessive drinking and the problems it creates, rather than allowing passengers to drink to excess before their flights. AENA, the airport network to which Alicante Airport belongs, declined to comment. Airport police and Guardia Civil were contacted for comment but have yet to respond.